Good morning, class. So you busy with functions? You guys had some homework? Here. The homework was? What's the homework? Exercise 1.9. 5.9. Even. Okay, so I must do exercise 5.9. We did the odd yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. Which one would you like me to do? So I did 3 yesterday, ne? Okay, give me 2 to do. Which one you want to do? The 6th one. The last one. That's the only one. Okay, only 6, okay. Can you give me the equation? What was the equation for 6? Y equals? Okay. So first things first. Is this girl giving her own story here? You're making up your own sounds. Negative 12 plus 6. Okay, it's fine, man. Don't cut yourself up and leave us and go to another school. Relax, it's fine. Give her a break. Yes. For once she's giving her something and then you're now doing this to her. Now she's never ever going to give us anything again. You see now? Alright, here we go. Listen, first in the shape. It's going to be in quadrant. 2 and 4. Then we got our x-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Let y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to negative 12 over x plus 1 plus 6. You take it over, it becomes 12 over x plus 1 equals 6 over 1. You cross multiply. So x plus 1 is equal to times 6 equal to 12. Divided by 6 both sides gives me 2. So x is equal to 1. Correct? Then we go y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? We let x equal to 0. So y is equal to negative 12 over 0 plus 1 plus 6, which is negative 6. And this is enough information to draw this graph. Not so. What's the equation of your horizontal asymptote? Y is equal to 6. And your vertical asymptote? X equal to negative. Goliath, you alright? Sorry? Sit properly. If you sit like that, nobody's going to look at me. You see? Yes. Everybody wants to talk to you, isn't it? Right. So the first thing we draw in is our asymptotes. So we got y is equal to 6, which is fairly high there. And we have x is equal to negative 1. Okay. So it's going to lie in that quadrant there and this quadrant here. Not so. So what we do now is you say, okay, it's going to touch your x at 1 and your y at negative 6. So it goes through that. Okay, and of course I reflect it in that quadrant. Okay, we got it. So let's look at the interpreting questions with regards to this here. interpretation question. Is it wrong? No, okay. First things first, they ask you to work out your axis of symmetry. Not so. They ask you, isn't it? To work out the axis of symmetry basically is the line that's going through like that, which is y is equal to x plus c. So the graph of the line going through like that, which is y is equal to minus x plus c. You all agree with that? And it's going through that point where your two asymptotes overlap. Okay. So we have y is equal to x plus c. You will substitute negative 1 and 6. So 6 is equal to negative 1 plus c, so c is going to be 7. So y is equal to x plus c. That's 1. And y is equal to negative x plus c. You're going to substitute negative 1 and 6. So x and a y. So 6 is equal to negative 1 plus c. So that's going to give you positive 1. This gives you negative 1 when you take it over. So y is equal to minus x plus. You have to. Okay? Then I ask you to work out the domain of this graph and the range. Not so. What is the domain of this graph? X is an element of all real numbers. X is not equal to negative 1, which is your asymptote. What's the range of this graph? Y is an element of all real numbers. Y is not equal to. Okay. What's the next thing I ask you to work out? Say again? Increase. Is this graph increasing or decreasing? Increasing. It's increasing for all values of x except x equal to negative 1. So x is an element of all real numbers, x is not equal to negative 1. Next. Where is f of x equal to 0? Not some. Now where is f of x? This would have been f of x, in other words, okay? Where is f of x equal to 0? That's basically where it cuts this y is equal to 0 line. Okay? Is this here? That's y is equal to 0. Not so. So if f of x equal to 0, for which values of x is f of x equal to 0? X equal to 1. Where is f of x more than and equal to? No? Or is it less than and equal to? So it's more than 0. So in other words, where it is above the line. Is it including that line? No. So it's this part of the graph. And that part of the graph. Can you see that? That's above that line. So in other words, x must be more than 1, or x must be less than negative 1. Okay. Then they want to know is f of x less than and equal to 0? So in other words, where it is below that line. Not so. So all of this here is below the line. No? It's going from this x value of negative 1 to 1. Which is a continuous solution. So what do we say? X is greater than negative 1 but less than 1. But remember there's an equal sign there. Can it be equal at negative 1? No. Why? Asymptote. Is it equal at 1? Yes. And there we go. Okay. Then I ask you to You give the equation if it's reflected in the first case x-axis. If it's reflected in the x-axis, what happens? Y becomes negative. Not so. So it's negative y is equal to negative 12 over x plus 1 plus 6. So y is equal to 12 over x plus 1 minus 6. Is it reflected in the y-axis? Reflected in the y-axis, x becomes negative. Not so. So you'll have y equals negative 12 over negative x plus 1 plus 6. We take out negative as a common factor. So it's negative 12 over, becomes positive on top, x minus 1 plus 6. Alright? You guys understand? Is there anything else I ask you with regards to those questions? No. Alright. They ask you to, okay, so the effects of P and Q on the graph y is equal to A over x plus P plus Q. In the equation y is equal to A over x plus P plus Q, the value of P affects the horizontal, left or right shift of the graph, and the vertical asymptote of x is equal to minus P. Now if you have written it in the form of y equals A over x minus P plus Q, then that changes a bit. Then we are just told that your asymptote of x equal to P. Okay, depending how the formula is given. Sometimes it's given with a plus and sometimes with a minus. Okay. It's the same thing. Alright. Q affects the vertical up or down shift of the graph and the horizontal asymptote y is equal to P. We now know that. The axis of symmetry of the equation y is equal to A plus P plus Q, and y is equal to minus A plus P plus Q. But we just work it out. But if you are that kind of girl that want to remember new formulas and all of it, you can write it down. No problem. Okay. Your next heading is your exponential graph. Which page are we on? Sorry? 141. Now in grade 10 you've drawn exponential graphs, not so? So I'm not going to bore you with all of that theory there. We're going to go straight into the examples, okay? I'm looking at example 1 on page 142. Also, we're running out of time. We have one lesson left, so that's also the reason why I'm not going through all the theory now, okay? So we're looking at exponential graphs now. No? Here's your first graph. The question says sketch. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video at this point. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to sketch that graph. Yeah. Right, the question says sketch the graph. So where do we start? We start with the shape. Not so. This is for in the form of y is equal to k to the x. We know that if k is greater than 1, the graph is an increasing function. If k is greater than 0 but less than 1, the graph is a decreasing function. Not so. So the shape of the graph is going to be an increasing function. With horizontal asymptote at y is equal to negative. Secondly, x-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Let y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 2 to the x minus 4. Take it over the equal sign, so 4 is equal to 2 to the x. 4 can be written as 2 squared. So x is equal to 2. You all okay with that? Then we work out now y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? Let x equal to 0. So y is equal to 2 to the 0 minus 4, which is negative 3. Is that enough information to draw the graph? Yes. If it wasn't enough, what would I have done? We let x equal to 1, if it was not enough. So here we got, you draw our asymptote in first, y is equal to negative 4. It's going to cut your x-axis at 2 and at minus 3. So it's an increasing exponential graph. So you guys got that right, no? Yes. Let's look at the interpreting question on this graph one time. Let's look at the domain. What is the domain of this graph? It's going negative infinity, positive infinity. So what do we say? X is an element or real numbers. Okay. Range. Range all possible y values. Does this graph exist at negative infinity? No. Where does it start existing at? Negative 4 onwards. So y is greater than negative 4. Can we be equal? No. Next. We say that it is increasing. What's the next thing we normally ask? More than and less than. Not so. Where's f of x equal to 0? Where's f of x equal to 0? At 2. Where's f of x greater than and equal to 0? That's part of the graph, not so? So that would be x is more than or equal to 2. Where's f of x less than 0? That's part of the graph here, not so? X is less than 2. Verstaan julle? Ja, ons verstaan. Right. Let's carry on. There's a question I need to give you, no? But I'll give it to you for homework. We'll discuss it tomorrow, okay? Sorry? Go pick. Just wait, hang on. I need to freeze the screen. Okay? Just hang on. Right, here's the next one. You guys finish? No. So don't make jokes, man. Right, at this point you guys are done with example 2. Example 2 is on page 143. Example 2 on page 143. So, again, as you can see, B is between 1 and a 0. So the shape of this graph is going to be a decreasing function. Okay? It has a horizontal asymptote at x is equal to, y is equal to negative 8. Okay? Then our x-intercept, what do you do for x-intercept? Let y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to a half raised to x minus 8. So it becomes an exponential equation. I take it over. It becomes 2 to the minus x is equal to this negative 2 to the minus x is equal to negative 8, which is 2 cubed. Divide both sides by negative. So x is then equal to negative 3. You all agree with that? Then we do our y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? Let x equal to 0. So y is equal to a half raised to the 0, which is 1 minus 8, which is negative 7. Okay, you all agree with that? Yes? No. But it's our guide. Okay. This, of course, is enough information to draw this graph. There's your 0, your x. You have a y, your x of minus 3. The first thing we normally draw in now is our asymptote. So y is equal to negative 8 is there. Okay? And you're going to cut that negative 7. So it's a decreasing exponential function. Okay? And there we go. Okay? Decreasing exponential function, what's the domain of this graph? It's an element of all real numbers. What's the range of this graph? Range is y back. Y is greater than negative 8. Where is f of x equal to 0? This is negative 3. Where is f of x less than 0? Where is it less than 0? Less than and equal. X is more than negative 3 and equal. Where is f of x more than 0? X is more than, x is less than negative 3. Okay? If it's equal then you put the equal as well. Alright? Any confusion here? No. Then for homework I asked you to, the sum I wanted you to do is exercise 5.5. I want you to do number 3 and 4. Exercise 5.5, number 3 and 4. You can start with it now, no? I'm going to give you people, which page is this on? 127. Okay. Then I want you to do 5.10. 5.10 is on page 131. 39. Then I want you to do number 6 and 7. As well. So tomorrow during our maths lesson, we're going to do these sums as well as its variations on it. Okay. Okay, I'll give you some exponential graphs to draw as well. Pleasure. So exercise 5.10. This is on page 139, eh? Right. The exponential graphs. It's 5.10. 11, sorry. No, that's boring. Easy. That's too easy for you, guys. You're going to do 5.14. You again do every alternate sum for me. Every other sum. There's no numbers here, so you do the first one, the third one, and the fifth one. I will do all three tomorrow on the board as well. Okay, I'm going to stop the video at this point. I'm going to give you now a chance to do your work, and you're going to give me a chance to do mine. Okay.